Well, political patronage for rapist Ram Rahim continues. After the BJP leaders, now the Aam Aadmi Party minister Fauja Singh visited the darbar of the rape convict who is out on parole. Fauja Singh visited Ram Rahim's Dera in Punjab's Firozpur and met the officials of Dera. In fact, he was also felicitated there by aides of Ram Rahim. The visit has now sparked a massive political outrage, with the Congress party gunning for the Aam Aadmi Party over the patronage to the rape convict.
आज जो कुछ सेवादार नाम चर्चा कर सकते कि मोहन विखे सेवा कर रहे सी, जो सफाई कर रहे सी, जो अचानक साडे जो हल्के दे मिनिस्टर फौजा सिंह सरारी उन्हां दा पिंडां दे विच दौरा सी, उन्हां ने कैबिनेट मंत्री साहब की उत्थे गड्डी रोकी और अपनी समस्या दसी। साडे कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर इत्थे नाम चर्चा घर विच आए सी, बाकी ना तो इत्थे कोई सत्संग का कोई प्रोग्राम सी और ना ही किसी तरह का कोई उन्हां नूं स्पैशल इनवाइट किया गया सी। तो उस चीज़ नूं जो सोशल मीडिया ते गलत तरीके नाल दस्सिया जा रहा है और गुरु जी बारे गलत बोलिया जा रहा है, उस दी असीं सख्त शब्दों में निंदा करते हाँ।
Well, a legal notice has now been sent to the Chief Secretary of Haryana against the parole, in which there has been a demand to cancel the parole and remove the videos that have been made by Ram Rahim while he was out on parole. A convicted rapist and murderer, the Dera chief Ram Rahim raped two minor girls, one of them just 14 years old. He murdered his former manager as well as a noted journalist. The courts have convicted him and locked him up in jail for 20 years. Yet the state of Haryana, specifically the DG prisons, the DM and the jail superintendent, let him loose on parole. Earlier, when Haryana Chief Minister ML Khattar was questioned about granting parole to Ram Rahim, he said that the government had no role to play and it was the court's responsibility to provide parole. Let's listen in to what he had said.
एक बाबा है राम रहीम, रेप और हत्या में दोषी हैं। जब जब चुनाव आता है पैरोल पर बाहर चले आते हैं, दिवाली में एक वीडियो निकालते हैं, क्या कहेंगे आप?
मुझे कुछ नहीं कहना चाहिए, मेरा रोल नहीं है इसमें, मेरा कोई रोल नहीं है इसमें, मुझे इसमें कुछ नहीं कहना, मेरा रोल भी नहीं है। दोष करेगा कोर्ट बैठा है, कोर्ट सजा करता है, वो जेल में चला जाता है। हमको कोई आदेश मिलता है कि हाँ इसको पेश करो, जेल में डालो, जेल में डाल देते हैं। उसके बाद जेल के अपने नियम हैं, जेल के नियमों के आधार पर किसी को बेल चाहिए तो जाके अप्लाई करो, एडमिशन देखता है, देनी है नहीं देनी है, इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, कोई इसका अर्थ नहीं।
All right, viewers, we want to hear from you. What do you think of the rapist being out on parole? Is a rapist being legitimized only for votes? Should he be even out when the jail has convicted him in these serious charges? Mr. Binay Singh, political analyst, and Brinda Adige, activist, joining us on the broadcast. I want to begin with Ms. Brinda Adige. Ms. Adige, we've had this discussion, the same topic about Ram Rahim being out. There has been a lot of outrage around it. We've also heard from our viewers who can't believe that a convicted rapist and murderer is out. But even then, the political patronage continues. First, if it was the BJP leaders, now we also have a AAP minister who has not just gone and met Ram Rahim, but is also praising him openly.
We know that the jail superintendent would not have sought or asked or allowed for bail if it wasn't for political people behind him telling him that this man should be allowed to go out. And this is not the first time that this Ram Rahim has come out. Since 2017, he's got parole 5 times, which also says that every time he's got a parole, he has been doing a lot of PR for people to vote for a particular party or to a particular poll contestant. This just goes to show that politicians and poll contestants are happy to go to a rapist murderer seeking his blessings simply because of his following that is there, some 30, 40 lakhs of following. But these people are not bothered of the ethical standards that they must uphold. And this is just unconstitutional, unacceptable when we talk of India to be a large democracy, the largest democracy, that we have poll contestants from BJP. At another point of time, we had one from Congress who said it is okay.
Yes, Mr. KTS Tulsi of the Congress party also saying it. So, in fact, it cuts across political parties. Every leader says exactly the same thing, and they're too scared to take a stand because they know the kind of support that Ram Rahim enjoys. I also want to hear from our viewers. Ganesh is joining us from Delhi. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Ganesh.
Yes, the only thing I want to say is, such people should remain behind the bars or should be hanged. They should be hanged. I do not know how do they get this bail, parole, this and that. And an ordinary convict who is there, he must be cursing for any such facility. And such people are getting all kind of facilities. But
Yes.
these politicians are, setting a very bad example in front of everybody.
Absolutely.
This is what I want to say. It is very disheartening. It downs the morale of everybody. Such people must not come out. Rather, they should be hanged. Well, how do they get parole? I do not know.
Yes.
Very
yes.
saddening to note. And
Yes,
then
Mr.
the politicians
Ganesh,
cover them up.
that's the kind
Very,
of
very
anger
sorry,
that
Shirley.
people have. Mr. Ganesh, thank you so much for joining us, because that's the kind of anger that people have. This is a mockery of the system being made. Mr. Binay Singh, no matter what you say, it just cannot be defended. But here we have political leaders who have no remorse about the fact that they're going to a rapist, a murderer for these few votes. They come out openly. Some of them even saying, yes, he has a lot of support. He has done a lot of good work. That's why we're supporting him.
Look, I think every time in each and every issue, we are trying to get a very high moral ground. So I think when it comes to judiciary, we must have an impartial view or a balanced view. And I think we have developed a habit of moral policing on each and every issue. Even on issues, those who are not in the ambit of our scrutiny, our honorable judges, they are competent enough to decide whom to give parole or not. And yes, you can't punish anyone twice for a single crime. I am not supporting Mr. Ram Rahim or whatever he is. Parole doesn't mean that you are set free. The person who is getting parole is bounded with a set of rules and regulations. And yes, if you are talking about morality and things, that means you are talking about something not constitutional or unconstitutional.
Okay, Mr. Singh, I just want to ask you, he has been convicted for 20 years and this is a very serious charge. It's not about the moral standing, but this parole is not the right of a prisoner. That's a privilege that prisoners get. What about the other prisoners? It's obviously not the same. So this is VIP treatment that Ram Rahim is getting. 40 days each time. This is the third time this year he is getting a parole. And, you can see very well, the conditions of it aside, he has brazened it out because he is releasing one video after the other.
No, it is not correct. Many people, they are getting parole, but yes, when it comes to Ram Rahim, he is a highlighted guy.
I want to hear from you. I just request you to stay on with us. We have Nishit Bhatt from Gandhinagar also joining us. Thank you for joining us. Nishit Bhatt, what's your view?
Yeah, my view is that when a convicted person who is a rapist who has been convicted for 20 years, his politicians support him to give him this parole. My question is, if daughter or sister or wife of a politician, of these politicians, were raped by Ram Rahim, would they still support him on parole?
Okay, so, asking to take a more personal view on it, Nishit, thank you for joining us. Your view, but that's the kind of anger that people feel, which is why these questions are being posed at these netas. Dushyant also joining us from Mumbai. Yes, Dushyant?
Yes, hi. I just want to say that it is really, really shameful for all of us and the entire country for the kind of support that they're giving out to this kind of a culprit. Right, so it is absolutely saddening and really, really disheartening to kind of see people, the politicians kind of taking support from such goons and such criminals. It is really shameful and disheartening, and yeah, it is absolutely really bad. Thank you.
Absolutely. Dushyant, thank you for joining us with your views. Mr. Singh, you heard that. That seems to be the general sentiment, and we've been speaking to our viewers time and again. This is the overwhelming sentiment that it's so disheartening that, this seems to be a mockery of law. A man who has been convicted for rape and murder, such grievous charges, out on parole every single time. This is the third time he's coming out, and it's timed so perfectly during the bypolls.
No, the point I'm making is that the court doesn't run by your sentiments or their decisions. They are not, your sentiments have nothing to do with that. Court has a system, and again, these are the same courts. I say again,
is it right have to really pin it on the courts, because it is, it goes through a process where these superintendents are giving these permissions. Ms. Brinda, I'll come to you in just a moment. I just want to take in Nirja, who is joining us from Delhi. Nirja, thank you for joining us. What do you have to say?
Like to really pin it on the court, because it is...
Ms. Nirja, request you to mute your television set before speaking to us, please.
Yeah, okay. I'll come to you in just a moment. I just want to take in Nirja, who is joining us from...
Yes, go ahead.
I was always for BJP, and if any of these people are involved in giving this Ram Rahim parole, I'm really ashamed of them, and my faith in them is dithering now. I'm really ashamed of this. And for them to go, politicians to go and bow down before him, it's really shameful. I don't have any other stronger word than that to use. I wish I had something.
Absolutely. Ms. Nirja, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Jauhar also joining us from Pune. Yes, Dr. Jauhar?
Yes. I wanted to say is that I've been watching what you are showing on the TV, and I think it's absolutely appalling. And not only appalling, it is how is the permission being given? Because I'm also a practicing lawyer, and let me tell you is that there is a proper process of how the parole is given. And for someone with such, such charges against him to be let out 5 times on parole, and moreover, also being flagrantly violating the laws, because I'm sure the other inmates are also wondering, who have lesser charges, is then they can be applying to the courts and saying, or also to the, the court officials, that we should also be given parole as many times.
Absolutely. It sets a wrong precedent of whether, if somebody has a support and if political leaders are bowing down to him like this, is anything possible. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Jauhar. Shankar Murthy also joining us from Bengaluru. Thank you for joining us this evening. Yes. Mr. Shankar Murthy?
Yes.
Yes. What are your views, sir?
See, giving parole to this sort of people, like Ram Rahim, who is a rapist, he is convicted. What lesson these people, the government is going to give or show to the general public? One, it is a total disrespect to the victims.
Yes.
These people are showing. It is inhuman attitude towards this victim this government has done. It's totally wrong giving parole. He should be better hanged.
Absolutely. All right. Mr. Shankar, thank you for joining us with your views. So, Ms. Brinda Dige, just to bring a sense of what the overwhelming thought is across the country, people calling in from different quarters saying the very same thing. How is the rapist and murderer out so freely? Mr. Singh says that it's all on the court. The court has given parole, so, you can't really blame a certain government. Please respond to that.
The court has no right to be unaccountable. And we also know that the courts, whoever that might be, are not giving parole for everybody. What are the grounds of parole? When do you get parole? The courts then have violated whatever rules have been set down by our constitution and our parliament. So why are we not pulling up the courts if this man is talking like this? Will he now vouch and say that there is no political hand in that parole? I do not agree to it. There is a political hand to that. Whatever might be, whoever that might be, the impunity with which this man has been getting parole is shocking, appalling, horrendous. Other convicts are not getting it.
Yes, and these are the questions that remain unanswered. Unfortunately, no matter what you say, there's no explanation to the kind of impunity that he's showing, releasing these flashing videos while he's out on parole. Perhaps he's also well aware that because of the support he enjoys, no political leader is going to take a stand against him. No action is going to be taken against him. Mr. Singh, unfortunately, we'll have to leave it at that. Thanking you both for joining us on the broadcast with your views.